I do not want to waste any more time because win totals are here. So I ask you, gentlemen, y'all ready to count them up?
Let's do it.
As much as I think it's the under is a safe play, like I can't even.
Count them up. Count them up. How many kids are going to win this fall?
I can't fathom 8 wins.
How many kids are going to win this fall?
I just can't. I don't see it. It's not on there. It's not the schedule I'm looking at. Unless there's another schedule somewhere.
And we begin with the Boston College Eagles. Year 2 for Bill O'Brien, who did guide the Eagles to a bowl game last season. Kind of a wild year, at least in terms of some close games, some big wins, some no-shows to thump the Tar Heels at the end of the season. And now we've got a Donovan Ezaraku to replace up front, a Cam Horsley to replace up front. Tommy Castellanos is off to Florida State. Over-under win total at FanDuel Sportsbook of 5.5. Over plus 108, under at minus 132 as of last night. Tom, I'll let you get first crack at BC. What do you like about this schedule, this slate, and how things are going to go in year 2 for BOB?
I mean, I think this schedule provides some very winnable games for them, particularly early in the season. I think Fordham is a win. I think Stanford, we're not talking them today, but Stanford could be one of the worst P4 teams in the country again. I think a road trip there is not the most difficult way, although consecutive road trips and consecutive weekends there would be tough. I think Cal at home is very winnable. I don't think it's impossible that this is a team that gets off to a 4-0 start. I don't have them doing that. I think 3-1 is more likely than that, and 2-2 is probably more likely than 4-0, but I don't think it's completely out of the picture. I think when you look at their rest of their conference schedule, Clemson, Notre Dame at home, I mean, that kind of sucks because you weren't going to win those games. I would rather play them on the road. And then SMU, but I don't know if SMU's is good. Georgia Tech at home, like UConn is a win. I don't feel overly confident in it. I do think that in a sense, and don't take this the wrong way, they've upgraded at quarterback, not maybe talent-wise, but maybe fit for what Bill O'Brien likes to do wise. So we could see a little more consistency from them on offense. I think this is a team that's going to get to a bowl, barely. It's not enough to like lock it up, but I am slightly over on my projection here.
I'm very slightly under. It's not something that I'm really looking to bet here. I am a little bit worried about some of the defensive line losses for this team. Like that team had some real dudes who are now in the NFL. O-line lost a bit. So I think they are better at quarterback for what they want to run. I'm not sure this team is better than last year's team overall, although it certainly could be. Again, like I'm not rushing out to bet this. And if you were going to play the under, this is not necessarily the juice that you'd want to play it at. There's some like books out there with plus 100 for the under. So if you're going to bet this, I think it's a better overprice from FanDuel than it is an underprice. But in looking at this, that team fought hard last year for sure. I thought like when they made the change, they still lost to SMU, but they played hard in that ball game. A couple of these games though they play at the end like could mean something for the opponent as well. Like Syracuse could be fighting for a bowl game. In fact, that game is probably for a bowl. I think most likely if you look at the odds for the winner of it. UConn is like not good. Is BC so good that UConn is an automatic dub? I guess we'll see. I think it's possible that they are. But man, like Louisville, Notre Dame, SMU, Georgia Tech, all 4 of those. No bye week in there, by the way. You get the bye week before the last game of the season, which is an odd bye week to have. In fact, they go guys, have you seen where their bye week falls? It's after Stanford. You have to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row, the easiest of which is UConn. That's hard. I'm going to go under slightly.
So I'm with Tom. I'm on the over. I think there are 4 wins you chalk up. I almost gave them 5 as far as when I was looking at the win column. I do think they beat UConn. I do think they get both Stanford and Cal on the road in Fordham. I had them beating Syracuse at the end of the season because I do think it could be a bowl game for them. I think Bill O'Brien's a really good football coach. I think one of the things I've saw that's pretty interesting is I thought Grayson James played pretty good. Like, oh, he's the entrenched starter. He's got Dylan Lonergan competing with him, so I think that's pretty interesting. Means they feel pretty good about that position. And I do think Bill O'Brien, as much as he was criticized and critiqued as an offensive coordinator, I think he's a pretty good offensive mind. I think this team goes over. I mean, not much. Like, it's not one I'm running to the window, but I do think they're one of the teams that I kind of trust culturally to still be competing, even if it does get a little sideways. And I wouldn't be surprised. So, like, if I had 4 that I felt really good about, can they get 2? And I was like, all right, I think they could surprise one of those games where they get taken lightly and they go in and they pull off an upset and potentially hurt somebody's either ACC title hopes or potentially, a playoff spot type of hopes.
So I had 2 thoughts. One was a little nitty gritty. One was vibes, but just because of what you just said, I'm going to go with the latter, the vibes, because who's found the red bandana game yet?
Ooh. It's SMU.
It's SMU. Danny, if you want to talk about the game, you want to talk about the game where someone's chances to get to Charlotte might get crushed, because Boston College is that team. Like, if everything comes together and if you overlook them and you play down, they can get you. And that would be anybody in that run. Louisville, Notre Dame, SMU, Georgia Tech. Notre Dame, obviously not for the ACC championship, but it's like they'll have a say in it. But over the course of the season, then to the nitty gritty part. Last year, their secondary was racking up interceptions. Now, was that because their secondary was awesome, or because quarterbacks had to deal with Donovan Ezeraku and Cam Horsley? Horsley, like a 5th-year player who was a starter for 4 straight seasons at defensive tackle. I think that it's probably Bud, to your point, the losses up front end up making it difficult to still be as impactful defensively when you're going up against teams with real size and talent in the trenches in the second half of the season. So I'm a slight under on this one. I've got the Eagles finishing 5-7. Even if the quality of the team might not be that different, I think that's kind of a brutal schedule. So throw me on the under, even at the minus 132. Might even make it to the lock. Oh, here's the last one here. At Michigan State. That's one that could swing the other way. I've got that as a loss. If BC goes to win that game, then I think they're sitting in a good position.
I mean, it's not crazy to say they could be 5-0 before they play Clemson.
No,
absolutely. I mean, there's a chance they could have that. So,
yeah,
which I actually think would be great for Clemson. I know we're talking about them in a little bit, but I think that'd be great for Clemson to have a team that's a worthy opponent in the ACC.